Take a look at this. So what you're seeing here is how the US launched multiple attacks towards Iran yesterday, and according to reports, these people caused a lot of damages to a lot of Iranian port cities. And guess what? The US claimed that this was a self-defense, that Iran first attacked the US, and of course they were targeting the US naval vessels around the Strait of Hormuz. But guess what? Something happened just along the line. You see this video? Look, that's a drone being shot down around the strait, and you are going to see Iranians when they go to pick up this drone. I don't know if that drone belongs to them or it belongs to the US, but according to the Iranians who picked up this drone, you can see it. They picked it up and claimed this is a US MQ, unmanned drone, which they also said will be taken for reverse engineering. Now, this has triggered a lot of tension within the Middle East again. A lot of people are wondering what exactly is going on. They were just minutes away from a deal. Then all of a sudden, Iran attacking the US naval vessels around the straits. And then the US retaliated aggressively, causing several damages to Iran. In fact, according to Trump, he said Iran is trying his patience, but they better not pray to see his anger, because if it happens, what is going to happen to the country will be unbelievable. But in retaliation or in response to that, Ali Khamenei, the new Ayatollah, told the US, warned the US, stating categorically and clearly, unambiguously, that all the US military bases around the Middle East are no longer safe, that he can no longer guarantee them. In fact, that they are no longer a safe haven, that now the US have to remove all of them, otherwise they will be destroyed, they will be leveled to the ground. This is just when the US and Iran were just very close to a deal. Now, people are beginning to speculate that the reason why the US is restraining from going further on attacking Iran is because they somehow discovered or learned that Iran actually already has 5 nuclear bombs, which they got from North Korea. This was what I said earlier when this war started, that at the end of this war, Iran is going to own a nuclear bomb. I made it clear. These are not verified yet. These are not confirmed yet. But as far as it is beginning to circulate, the people who are circulating it are still people who are from very high possibilities of getting such kind of information. And what does this tell you? It tells you that if the US finally decide to pull out of this war in this phase as it stands now, Iran will be the worst thing. That, in fact, Iran might end up being what we end the US global superpower, and of course, control the US has against around the world.
The United States conducted airstrikes against southern Iran near the Strait of Hormuz and the city of Bandar Abbas. According to U.S. Central Command, these strikes were defensive in nature and went after the mine lane vessels around this area, along with the surface-to-air missile position. These were the first U.S. strikes that have targeted Iran since early May. The strikes do come amid the backdrop of an ongoing diplomatic effort to reach an agreement between Iran and the United States. Overnight, President Trump laid out a serious condition, saying on Truth Social, the enriched uranium nuclear dust will either be immediately turned over to the United States to be brought home and destroyed, or preferably in conjunction and coordination with the Islamic Republic of Iran, destroyed in place or at another acceptable location, with the Atomic Energy Commission or its equivalent being witness to this process and event. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, a regional intelligence official told Fox News no less important is the dismantlement of Iran's enrichment facilities. That way, not only will Iran not have enriched material, they also won't have the means to enrich more. The key to preventing Iran from getting its hands on a nuclear weapon is taking the bullets, but also taking the gun itself. The other key issue has to do with the Strait of Hormuz. Secretary of State Marco Rubio reiterated the Trump administration position on this critical waterway during a gaggle today.
The straits have to be open. They're going to be open one way or the other. So they need to be open. What's happening there is unlawful, it's illegal, it's unsustainable for the world, it's unacceptable. That cannot happen. The straits need to be open, unimpeded, without tolls. And obviously that needs to happen immediately as soon as anything.
We're also tracking developments in the conflict between Israel and Iran's largest proxy, Hezbollah. The Israelis have vowed to ramp up strikes on the group amid ongoing drone and rocket attacks launched from southern Lebanon.
I want to bless the residents of the North's resilience that inspires all of us. But what this requires of us now is to increase the blows, to increase the intensity. We will smite them with overwhelming force.
A regional source told Fox News later this week additional talks will take place between the Israeli and Lebanese governments aimed at increasing diplomatic ties between the two countries and disarming Hezbollah. Bill?
Trey, thanks. Nice to see you leading our coverage on